Missouri Thursday night, Paul Ryan never mentioned homegrown Congressman Todd Akin or the forcible rape bill he co-sponsored with him. He didn't even mention his hero Ayn Rand. Instead, he repeated his contempt for Americans on welfare, telling donors, quote, "More and more people who are able-bodied are becoming less independent and more dependent on government for their livelihood." Congressman Peter Welch is a Democrat from Vermont and the Deputy Chief Whip. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Ryan wouldn't allow cameras into his fundraiser, but he was quoted as saying President Obama wants to promote dependency on government as a solution to economic troubles. Now, Mitt Romney asked for the very same flexibility as governor of Massachusetts. So does that mean that Mitt Romney promoted dependency on government?
Well, apparently it does. This is a totally bogus claim by Mr. Ryan. The work requirements in welfare are intact. The request for flexibility came largely from Republican governors who thought that they had some better ways to accomplish the goals of the work and welfare requirements. So this is a completely bogus claim by Mr. Ryan that appeals to the base. You know, the independent fact-checking organizations gave it Fort Pinocchios and Pants on Fire status. So,
but Mr. Welch, this hasn't
basically
stopped him from repeating this claim everywhere he goes. They've produced several adverts.
No, it isn't.
Several adverts to this effect.
That's right. That's exactly right. And what they're doing is letting the truth be damned. That's literally what it is. Because if they say it over and over again, if they put it on the air as an advertisement and an assertion, the fact that it's completely untrue, as established by independent fact checkers, is incidental. So the truth is the casualty of the Ryan campaign on this claim.
Oh no, Ryan revealed his true feelings for those on welfare when he introduced his plan, loaded with ideas on how to save money. Listen to this.
That means block granting means-tested entitlements like food stamps, like housing assistance, back to the states so they can customize these benefits, have time limits, work requirements, the kinds of successful policies that made welfare reform so successful. There's about 100 pages here of details, which are food stamp reform, welfare reform, federal employee reform, agriculture reform. I can go on the list, but that's the bulk of where those savings come from.
Mr. Welch, is that just another way of calling welfare recipients moochers, as his hero Ayn Rand referred to them?
Well, it more or less is. And he would balance the budget supposedly on the backs of people who are poor, who don't have enough food. But, here's the question. The debt is a major challenge for this country. But Paul Ryan gets an F when it comes to being a debt reduction advocate. Three things. Number one, he was the decisive vote to kill the opportunity for Congress to vote on Bowles Simpson. Real conservatives like Senator Gregg, Tom Coburn, they both voted for that. Ryan killed it. Number two, the Ryan budget. The Ryan budget doesn't reduce the debt; it increases it by $6 trillion over 10 years. And then third, Ryan had a chance to be an advocate for debt reduction when he was a junior member of Congress under George Bush, and instead, every one of those absolutely deficit exploding bills, Iraq on the credit card, Afghanistan on the credit card, prescription drug program on the credit card, those tax cuts, the fantasy that they pay for themselves on the credit card, that added enormously to the debt, has weakened our economy, and he voted for every single one of those. So this man gets an F on his stated purpose in political life.
Indeed. Congressman Peter Welch from Vermont, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Next, why